Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes With by Climate Week NYC, bringing you a series of bite-sized interviews with some of the key people, organisations and businesses ahead of Climate Week NYC this September 20th through 26th. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Sally Uren, Chief Executive of Forum for the Future. Forum for the Future is a leading international sustainability nonprofit with offices in London, New York, Singapore, and Mumbai. For over 24 years, they have been working in partnership with businesses, governments, and civil society to accelerate the shift towards a sustainable future. Sally, thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be here.
I have a lot of questions here on my card. So without further ado, I am going to start the clock and go for a really big one. First of all, what role does sustainability play at Forum for the Future?
Sustainability is really the core to who we are. Our mission is to accelerate progress towards a just and regenerative future. And so driving sustainable outcomes is everything that we're about.
And how's that changed over the years? Because 24 years, has it developed in different ways?
Yeah, we've changed a lot. When I first joined Forum, we had 2 offices in the UK, no international work at all. And I'd say that the kind of big changes have happened probably over the last 5 years. And there are 3 that I think are important for what we're trying to share at Climate Week. One is that we've taken a much more deliberate systems lens approach, really trying to understand the interconnections in the systems around us and find those really high leverage points for deep transformation. The other change is, yes, we've internationalized. We have offices outside of the UK, which is really important to drive the impact that we want to see. And I think the third change, the most recent, we've pushed our definition of sustainability a little bit further and are really talking about the need to drive a just and regenerative future. So in other words, really understand how can we reconfigure all of the systems that we rely on to create the conditions in which people and the planet can flourish and prosper into the long term.
Brilliant. And flipping that question from the past to the future, what is the future for Forum for the Future?
Well, I guess if we look into the future, I hope that we will be able to, as an organisation, be able to point to very specific proof points that we're on this trajectory towards this just and regenerative future. So, for example, I'd like to be able to point to different business models for global commodities, such as cotton. We have a big project in the cotton industry. I'd love us to be able to point to the scaling of regenerative agriculture in the US. That's a project that we have today. I'd love us to be able to point to business partners that are really embracing this desire to be just and regenerative, which again builds on some of the work we're doing today. And I would also be able to like to point to in Asia, the really successful transition of the renewable energy sector, delivering a just transition. So my dream would be that we can kind of look back from, say, 2030 and be able to demonstrate positively that we're on this journey to a just and regenerative future.
So looking more specifically at the future, a lot of people are talking this year about 2030. It's the end of the climate decade in the IPCC report. There's lots of people seeing that as a target. For you, what's your organization's target for 2030? Where do you want to see yourselves in that year?
I think it's very similar. We want to see ourselves as playing a really critical role in delivering the systems transformation that is needed. And that means that the projects that we're working on right now, such as this climate and health project that we're launching at Climate Week, have really worked to accelerate action, to accelerate driving of co-benefits in climate and health. So success really in 2030 is that we've bent the trajectory that we're on right now, which isn't online to deliver sustainable development, and that we as Forum for the Future have played a key role in moving us to a trajectory which will create the conditions for sustainable development.
I'm bringing it from 2030 through to 2021, COP26 this year. You've touched on it there, but like if you could condense one key message that you're going to be putting out there at Climate Week NYC this year, what would it be?
That now is the moment for deep transformation. We have to avoid a shallow transition. COVID has created a portal into a new way of doing things. It's created so much disruption, but with that disruption, every system is reconfiguring around us. So let's use this moment in time to drive deep transformation, not to go back to where we were before, and to do more of what we're talking about at Climate Week, which is to look at the world around us as a set of interconnected systems and not keep separating things out. So the intersection for me of climate and health is just so vibrant, it's so dynamic, and holds so much potential to accelerate progress for two of our biggest challenges, public health and climate.
Brilliant, and really interesting there to sit here how sort of COVID has influenced the sort of direction that you've gone in. I can see we've got 20 seconds, so I'm going to ask one last question. Our theme this year is getting it done. What does getting it done mean for Forum for the Future?
It means let's start to create action. Let's stop all the talking and let's focus on those high leverage points, those moments of deep transformation, those acupuncture points in the world around us, and drive deep transformation.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sally. And we ran over a little bit there, but I wasn't going to cut in and stop you on the answer at all. We could have spoken for a lot longer, but we can't right now. However, if you want to find out more about Forum for the Future and the work that they are doing, they are taking part in a special event, Driving Co-Benefits for Climate and Health, how private sector action can accelerate progress. That is happening at the Hub Live on September 21st at 1:30 Eastern Time. You can find details about that event as well as the full Climate Week NYC program, September 20 through 26th, on our website and through the link below. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Sally, for taking part, and look forward to seeing you during the week.
Thank you.